morning.
I'll go anywhere that you do, and if you don't go before, Lord, I don't want to go without you anymore. Meet me in a pillar of fire, shade me with a big white cloud. Lord, wherever you go, you'll always have me around.
I wish I could have smoothed that out a little bit, but I didn't. So it was funny. This exactly what I was talking about yesterday was the sort of central focus of my devotion today, which was kind of warming. And actually, I had a really cool miniature conversation last night with folks, sort of about similar things, and also about this whole releasing of attachment thing. I was talking to Mitchell Fink, who is a friend and a compatriot in shows at the Hot House. And he was talking about something that actually, funnily enough, kind of led me to today's thing. It was kind of in connection to this whole, that the process sometimes is the end goal, and the end goal is not the end goal, and that the birth is as important as the baby, maybe? Or that death is more important than the corpse? I don't know. Make a bumper sticker out of that one. So, I was trying to think of what I was going to do today, because I usually really don't have much planned other than, hey, maybe I could talk about this, and then I'd go ahead and play the music, and I go, man, I hope I know what to say. Lord, help me know what to say. And then I sort of was thinking about doing a thing that about doing without being isn't really doing, and being without doing isn't truly being, and finding the union of the two. But that, I don't know. And then I was just like, nah, I don't know, maybe I've already talked about that. Not that that ever gets old to me anyway, because I deal with that every day. But I wanted to figure out another angle on this sort of attachment I'm releasing, and just learning to be joyful is great. But then I wanted to just go to the words of Christ, because I figure he's probably said some cooler stuff than I have. Dang it. So I hopped up into Matthew, because that's what my devotion's been focusing on. Not the biggest Matthew fan in the world. That's cool. He's a little dry. But here's some nice words in red. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Funnily enough, this is before any of these folks knew that he would be crucified in the brutal manner the Romans had devised. Now, they knew what he was talking about, because it was, around, but little foretelling, hint of things to come. "And follow me, for whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man will come in the glory of the Father with his angels, and then he will reward each according to his works." Which is interesting, funnily enough, because that's actually about both being and doing. Because he says he'll reward you according to his works, but then he also says, and then there's the taking up the cross and following me, that's a doing. But whoever desires to save his life will lose it. It's really kind of about a state of being. It's about desire, and it's about your internal self and your intentions. So I guess that's the thing I want to learn, is how I can figure out today and tomorrow and the next day more and more ways in which I can die. I can kill off that which is unsanctified flesh and the things that still make me see, I don't know, not even just negativity, but like the things that enable me to hate my enemy. You know what I mean? Easy to love your friends even when they're annoying. Easy to love your family even when they're annoying. But it's easy to, it's also also easy to hate your enemy. And we're commanded to love all. So I know I'm struggling with that. So I'd like to kill that part of me. Kill the eye that looks upon them in that fashion, you know? And can't immediately go, hey, but whose enemy could you be? And you're not. And then that fear of not even just death, but again, a fearing lack of comfort, lack of fame or power or adoration, that sort of stuff, in his name, that you can die in so many ways. And the reason this was inspired by Mitchell is Mitchell was talking about, I guess it was a couple years ago maybe, or maybe in the past year or so. I actually didn't perceive that. And he was talking about he was going through this just rough time. And usually he's a pretty straightforward dude, like, you know, pretty upbeat. Seemed to have his shit together, you know. And he was just struggling and kind of dark and just and breaking down, and just, I hope he's okay that I'm sharing this, and just not having a good time. And people who knew him were like, man, what's up with you? This is not the you that I know. And he was just like, I just don't know. And it was kind of during a life change period, and he was really trying to activate some more positive stuff in his life. And he talked to his life coach, and she kind of broke it down for him in a way that made perfect sense. It's funny, even as you were saying it, we were all kind of like, Jeff Bowser and I were kind of like vibing on it, and I totally got where he was going, because I'm kind of trying to go through the same stuff myself. And that basically he was sort of in a period of mourning for his old ways and his old life and what had gotten him to that point, and just trying to slough off that old skin, you know, and just, it's so hard to let go. And we can die and live again so many times in our lifetime here on earth, like hopefully ultimately leading to our, you know, ultimate sloughing off of this mortal coil. But I was just so impressed by that like, honestly, that he was emotionally in connection enough to mourn it, to just let it even, you know, to really suffer through that, and learning through that suffering, and then being so joyful on the other side of that suffering. So deny yourself, die to yourself, live in him. That's kind of my theme for the day and for the week, and I'm figuring out various ways in which I can die, via objects and whatnot, and paring away, and just winnowing away all that is me, and don't cling to it so dang much. Hold on to the stuff that is fruit. Hold on to the stuff that's his. And man, thus far it's been just such an exciting journey, and just, I guess, especially even if you're suffering or if things are hard, if you know you're doing it for the right reasons, it's a joy. If I'm doing it for him, it's a joy, and it truly is. Even though it doesn't make it less hard, it just makes it worth it, you know? And even not worth anything later, but just worth it. So to live in Christ, to die is gain. I don't know. I'm excited. Happy Friday, everybody. Bye.